So right before I turned the camera on, you just missed it. This huge flock of Canada geese went overhead. They're heading out of here. They're getting out of this place that's about to become basically a frozen wasteland in a few weeks. And I'm going to be doing these videos with a parka on, so they're a lot smarter than me. But I thought it was kind of apropos that they should be flying overhead at the time I shot this video, repeatedly flapping their wings, just repeatedly flapping them away. And it's a segue for you, a very cheesy segue. And there's some more coming. I hope you can hear them. You may or not be able to hear them. There they are. And they were repeatedly flapping their wings because they were here to tell you about the power of repetition. Let me just flip it so you can see them. There we go. I hope you caught that. So the power of repetition. The power of repetition is actually something that I have implemented unconsciously at a lot of different areas of my life, and it's worked really well for me. And then it's something I would forget about and not do. And so I wanted to bring it to light to you today. And a couple weeks ago, I forget exactly which Friday Ignite it was, but I talked about how I have this new routine. 3 different times a day, I have a set calendar alert with an auditory and visual reminder. It pops up in my face and says the word conditioning. And what it does is it reminds me to pause whatever I'm doing and take some time to focus on motivating myself. And it might be me sitting down and watching a couple of inspirational YouTube videos that make me kind of feel better. It might be me writing down some of the things that I'm working on or some of the reasons why I'm working on them. Or it could just be some reminders to myself of the way I need to think in order to achieve my goals. So if I'm getting into a pattern of maybe self-doubt or questioning if I'm on the right track, I would erase that and put it with something a lot more empowering. And by doing this over and over and over again, every single day, 7 days a week, I'm noticing some big changes. For one, my confidence levels are much, much higher than they've ever been before. And I don't think it's by mistake. If you do these things deliberately, if you practice the piano every single day, you're inevitably going to be getting better at it, right? So I'm literally conditioning myself to have certain states of mind, to have a certain level of confidence, to take certain actions in a focused way. Another thing I do is when I do my conditioning, I tell myself, focused action is what gets results. So it reminds me that, let's say for the next hour, I'm going to do my very best to work as hard as possible, as focused as possible on the thing I'm doing. And I'm not going to allow other distractions like Facebook and email to stop me, because doing that over and over again will eventually pull me away from my goals. And so today's video is to get you to check this and see how you can implement this into your life. What can you start doing on a repeated basis that will help you overcome any of that negative self-talk, any of those patterns that you're doing that keep interrupting your goals? So I don't know, let's say it's your diet, health and fitness, your diet, and you're on the right track, and then for whatever reason you just slip back into your old habits. How can you start just bombarding your mind with a series of positive messages that keeps you going to blast through that that limitation that's keeping you stuck in whatever pattern that you're in? We do this. I mean, this happens in society when people watch TV and commercials all the time. We're just constantly bombarded with advertisements, and then before we know it, we want to consume. We want to buy these things. We see a car, or TV, or whatever, and we want to have them. And we just kind of do that by osmosis without even really thinking. But what if we actually deliberately, repeatedly told ourselves and reminded ourselves of the things that we want to do, the things that we want to accomplish, of the power that we have, of the confidence that we can create? If we do this over and over and over again, if we can find time to update our Facebook status 5 times a day, we can find time to remotivate ourselves, to remind ourselves of our goals, of our innate strengths, of our abilities, of the things that we're working on. And we can do this every single day, multiple times a day. And I'm noticing huge changes. I have no intentions of stopping this because it's working for me, and I think it'll work for you if you give it a shot. So try it out. See if you can add a new series of repetitive tasks that will empower you and get you to take the actions that you want, and see what happens. See how much more quickly you start manifesting your goals, and start teaching it to other people as well, because everybody will benefit from this kind of lesson. So I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought.